team seems to be stuck in the bunker. Are they going to stay there the rest of this season?
They go somewhere every week.
I mean, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think for the length of this season, that will be their home base. That they're trying to stay as low key and undercover as possible while they're dealing with the Rittenhouse threat. But we also like the element that it gives us. They're not only working together now, they're living together. And it allows different interactions that you never really had in the first season to be able to write towards. So I like that a lot.
Fans are a little worried about the return of Jessica, Wyatt's ex-wife. What do you have to say to fans about the journey that Wyatt and Lucy are on this season?
Well, we're going to screen the episode here that airs tomorrow night, so I don't think it's going to be a secret too much longer that there is a return of Jessica. Perhaps it would have been nice if we could have kept that a secret for tomorrow night, but we're airing the episode today, and people will see it, and I doubt we can get 1,200 people to not say anything. What I will say about it is, I think the Wyatt-Lucy relationship is one that is dear to the hearts of so many fans of the show, and we as a writing staff are very aware of that, and certainly it's going to complicate the relationship. But what I would say is that this is, if episode 3 is the beginning of that story, there is an 8-episode arc that deals with Wyatt and Lucy that we just finished filming literally 8 hours ago. Our last day of filming for season 2 was last night into early this morning. I don't want to give away too much, obviously, of what's going to happen, but we understand the faith that our really hardcore fans have in us to tell a proper Wyatt-Lucy story. We understand the responsibility of that, and I think we have a good one for them.
If you could be the perpetrator of some sort of historical incident, what would it be and why?
If I could be the perpetrator?
Like if you could change history, or what event would you like to be a part of?
Well, I mean, listen, on a serious note, there are all sorts of things, tragedies you want to go back and sort of prevent. On a more enjoyable basis, I'm a big sports fan, so it'd be great to sort of go back and kind of, try to involve myself in some big things, whether it was Babe Ruth's called shot or, a number of other things. The good thing about this show is that if I have a historical itch, I generally get to scratch it on this show. But in real life, I don't know that I'd want to go back and change things. I'd love to go back and just be a fly on the wall for so many events and sort of see how they played out and how they're the same or different from how I have them in my mind's eye. Still cameras and then film cameras are still fairly recent in history, and so there's all this history that we don't really have documentation of. I'd love to go back to the Constitutional Convention and see all our founding fathers kind of arguing about, what should be in this and what should be in that. Maybe I'd go back and make a little tweak or two to the Constitution.
Now, season 1, I think, was just an absolutely amazing good television. I mean, it's hell of a lot of fun. It definitely wound up separating itself a little bit from the other time traveling series that are out there now. But one of the best parts about it, though, was that lightheartedness. I mean, the Hemingway episode, the Scotch with Hemingway was amazing about the flag. Season 2 seems to be a little bit darker, a little bit more serious. Do you think there might be a little bit more of that levity?
I think it varies episode to episode. The episode we're about to screen has a lot of levity to it, I think. A lot of emotions, too, but there's a lot of humor in that one. I think episode 5... which I will, just throw out a hint. It's our first episode where we don't go back in time so much as we bring history to us. That's the only thing I'll sort of tip off. There is an opening scene that happens in the past, but other than that, the entire episode takes place in the present, but with a historical figure. That may have been spoiled a little bit in some of NBC's promos. But there's a ton of humor there. I mean, what Eric and I, and then I also just want to credit Erica Mittman and Tom Smuts, who kind of assumed co-showrunner responsibilities with us this year, so I don't want to leave them out. But what we all believe in is having a grounded, real show. And sometimes life is scary, and sometimes life is romantic, and sometimes life is dangerous, but a lot of times life is funny. And so we're always looking for those moments. And even in serious episodes, I would say, especially through Rufus, there's 4 or 5 times every episode that Rufus makes me laugh. Even if something truly serious is going on. So that tone is something we spend a lot of time talking about. We spend a lot of time talking with our director about what we're after, and then we spend a lot of time in the editing room really trying to master that. I don't think we ever want to become such a serious show that it becomes bleak or dark. Eric and I, when we conceived this show, always wanted it to be an homage to those sort of classic 70s and 80s kind of adventure, a lot of Spielberg, stuff. Raiders of the Lost Ark and E.T. and Back to the Future and the Goonies, and we've always wanted that show to be crowd pleasing in that way. So I don't think I think some episodes will be darker than others will be lighter. We're about to screen one that, to me, I think has a lot of laughs in it, and we never want to lose that.
What did you like most about bringing Hedy Lamarr to life, and why her?
Well, I will say this, that every episode I'm terrified that we'll never be able to cast these roles that we write. Each time I'm like, well, this is going to be the episode that we just can't manage to cast it properly. And of course, I'm spacing right now on the actress's name, but she really is tremendous in this. I was aware of the history of her and her patents and her as a scientist, not just as a bombshell, her being a very complicated underdog in Hollywood. So bringing somebody really smart in to be able to bounce Rufus and Lucy and Wyatt off of was really interesting. To be able to tell the story that a lot of the Wi-Fi that we use today comes from ideas that she and her partner generated, in the 30s and 40s, is really incredible. And then for a while, I've been wanting to do a story that really, was in the glamour of old Hollywood. We're fortunate this year to be filming on the Paramount lot, which, we filmed much of that episode on the Paramount lot, where, which existed and all this stuff really happened. So I've always wanted to sort of juxtapose our people in the present with sort of old Hollywood, and Hedy was just a great character to do that with.
Now that you actually mentioned that, when you're coming up with the story and where it's going to go, do you come up with the time period first and then try to figure out how to connect that to it? Are you saying, okay, 30s Hollywood seems like a fantastic place, I want to visit that, let's figure out a way to fit that to the story? Or is it, you see something in the 30s that kind of like...
We usually start with our main characters and what's the story we want to tell, but we do have time periods we're interested in. We always were interested in old Hollywood. In fact, we had a story that we developed for a while last year and then ultimately abandoned that actually had to do with a true historical fact that John Ford's movie Stagecoach was originally supposed to star Ronald Reagan, not John Wayne. And we had a whole sort of thing about what we were going to do with the young Reagan and young John Wayne. And, well, no, Reagan's supposed to go on into politics, and John Wayne's supposed to be the movie star, and Rittenhouse is going to screw with that and, sort of flip it. And, oh my God, what's happening? And then we couldn't quite get that story right. But so that was definitely a place and time that we wanted to do. But usually we look at what is the emotional journey that our main characters are going through, and what's the right time period, and who are the right characters to intersect them with. So in this case, old Hollywood is one of the most romantic time periods you can imagine, and this episode sort of culminates in sort of, growing Wyatt-Lucy attraction. And so putting them in one of the most glamorous romantic time periods around as their feelings for each other are coming to a head was something that was interesting to us. Sometimes we'll just come up with a figure that we know we want to do a story around. But that person's life might span 15 or 20 significant years, and then we'll dial it down. But usually we start with what are the emotional journeys that we want to tell for Wyatt and Lucy, Rufus, or anyone else who might be coming along in the lifeboat for that particular mission.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Other one more.
I'm looking forward to the end of the season. What are you going to tease about that finale? Is it going to be a closed ending or more of a cliffhanger?
In a strange way, I would say yes to both. There's a cliffhanger element to it, but I think I'll also feel. I really don't want to say too much about it. It's a big one. I'm really, really happy with how that script turned out. Obviously, we just finished filming last night, so I haven't seen it put together. But what I will say is that these 10 episodes, I think, really feel a whole with each other. There's a beginning, a middle, and end to this 10-episode season as it relates to the last storylines. So I know that's vague, which is probably disappointing and not helpful, because I really don't want to give away too much. And even saying that no, there's finality or no, there's a cliffhanger, I think sort of gives a little too much information. There's elements of both. But I will say in general, Eric and I do take the attitude that you have to plan for success. And so, we didn't write what we thought might or should be a series finale. We wrote what we thought was the best episode to end season 2 and to launch us into a season 3. So, thank you.